For this demo, we will download a VaporLogic controller firmware update and install it on the controller board. This demo is captured in the Chrome browser on a Windows PC. Firefox and Edge browsers also support firmware downloads from DrySteam. Make sure you have a FAT32 formatted USB flash drive with at least 16 megabytes capacity and with no files or folders stored on it. Insert the flash drive into the USB port on your computer and make sure the flash drive is empty as shown here. From the DrySteam homepage, click on the Get Help tab and click inside of the Firmware Updates box. For this demo, we are updating a humidifier with a VaporLogic version 6 controller, and here is the link for downloading the firmware update. Almost always the default to the Downloads folder. The download is a zip file that we will unzip onto the flash drive. Right-click the folder and select Extract All. When prompted for a location, choose the flash drive, which in this demo is drive D. Select the drive, click the Select Folder button, and one last prompt. Click the Extract button, and the firmware gets unzipped onto the flash drive as shown here. The controller automatically selects the files it needs from these folders, depending on the product family and model. Pull the flash drive out of the USB port and access the VaporLogic controller board in the unit to be updated, which in this demo is an XT series electrode humidifier. Before we update the firmware, let's check what version is currently running. Press the main soft key for the main menu, arrow down and select Diagnostics, arrow down and select Humidifier Info, then arrow down to Firmware version. This humidifier is running firmware version 608. Press the Home soft key to return to the home screen. Now press Main again, select Status, select Mode, and select Standby. We need access to the controller board, so remove covers as necessary. Disconnect the display, Ethernet, multi-tank, and field bus wires from the board. Some units, such as this humidifier, do not have all these connections. The USB port is here. Insert the flash drive containing the firmware into this port. Almost immediately, the LEDs below the port begin to oscillate. Depending on how much work the firmware update requires, it can take anywhere from just a few seconds to several minutes. When the update is complete, the lights blink simultaneously, accompanied by a clicking sound. This is our cue to remove the flash drive. If the update advances the firmware version by multiple increments, the clicking sound might not occur. In such instances, the controller reboots with the flash drive still plugged into the USB port. This is not a problem, but do not pull the flash drive until the controller has rebooted completely. The lights that oscillated during the firmware update must not be blinking or oscillating. Reconnect any of the display, Ethernet, multi-tank, or field bus wires that you pulled from the board earlier. Now, with the covers installed, we'll return the unit to the mode it was in before the firmware update and run it with the new firmware version.